For ACUSports.com, I'm Grant Boone here with head football coach Ken Collums. Just moments ago, Spring Ball 2015 came to a conclusion. These are 15 precious practices, Coach, and you said going into it you wanted to see what you had. So what do you have?
Well, we've got a chance to have a really good football team. Now, how that reflects on wins and losses, you don't know. A lot of times it has to do with the team lined up across the field from you, but we got a chance, and I'm encouraged. I'm encouraged in a lot of areas. Offense didn't really look all that good today, but you know what? The defense did. The defense came out here and they were running around hot, and so we've got work to do. But this sets us up. There's 15. I mean, these are precious practices, and we've hit on good weather. Early I had to bump things back by 2 weeks or so, but we're set up now to move into this different phase, the next phase of just off-season preparing in the weight room and in classes. We've got to finish academically well, so we're fired up about where we are.
Let's start on looking at the individual units by talking about the guys in the trenches, and let's start on the offensive side of the football. Your O-line is young but very experienced. You had some sophomores and freshmen play virtually every snap this year in some cases, and yet in spring ball, by the time it was all said and done, you have 5 left that were healthy?
Yeah, there were 6 rotating in there, and it was rough. It's just, but you know what? That's part of it. We ask a whole lot of those guys, and football's a tough gig, man. And but we've got by and large we've got some tough people, and you better have tough guys up front. Guys like Cody Funk. I mean, he came out of nowhere last year, and we knew he had a chance to be good. But he is progressing still as a player. Wonderful heart, hard worker, great student. So he is. I mean, he's our guy, and but he's only one. He's one of 5 that'll be out there. Austin Heisler. He didn't play hardly any last year, but you know what? He's put himself in a position to where he's going to have a major impact on this deal. And then last year you've got guys like Riley Mayfield who played way more than we thought he would, and did really well and won a lot of reps. So we're fired up about all that.
Defensive line, you lose 2 of the best guys you've ever had, certainly one of the best statistically in Nick Richardson, and then a guy, Damon Williams, did a lot for you in 2 seasons here. They both move on, but boy, you've reloaded that gun, haven't you?
Yeah, and we're sitting in a really good spot D-line wise, and the thing I've learned just through years of winning and sometimes getting your tail kicked, it's you better have quality D linemen, and you better have a lot of them. Junior Ollie is a guy that didn't play for us last year. We picked him up from Tyler Junior College, and he looks really, really good in practice. Then we've got young guys that played some last year, so they got a taste of it, and now hey, it's time to get it on. Now you're gonna have to hold the rope on this thing. Guys like LaMarcus Allen and Dylan Douglas, those guys are gonna have to come on.
Let's talk about your linebackers. You got Lynn Grady, a guy who can do a lot of different things for you, can probably play all over the field for you. And you talk about a guy who's going to get his undergrad degree here coming up very shortly. He's going to be a graduate student next year. He brings a lot of maturity, and you're going to need that. What a critical role that is that Lynn Grady plays.
Oh, my gosh. The closer to the middle of the field you get, you better have people that can see an offense for what it is, see the scheme, recognize plays, alignments, motions, and shifts and all that, or you're going to get out of position, and that's the easiest way to give up a touchdown. But guys like Lynn Grady and Sam Denmark in the middle, I mean, what a season he had last year as a rookie, and Travis Tarver, one of the more explosive guys on defense, and those guys get aligned properly all the time out here. They're seasoned. They've been around here a long time, and they'll give us a chance to get some guys on the ground.
All right, let's talk about the other side of the football. On the offensive side, obviously the glamour position in football is quarterback, and for about 45 years here, we've had some guys who could sling the ball around, and you had a guy last year in Parker McKenzie who was a first-year starter. He was terrific. Part of the reason your team was 4th in the nation in passing efficiency. And yet you didn't give him the starting job for 2015 just because he had a good year last year. How did Parker do, and then how did the guys challenging him do?
Parker did fine. He had a quality spring. He picked up right where he left off. He had a couple of hiccups there at the end of the season with turnovers, but he finished the
pretty good teams we played too.
Oh my gosh, yes. But he finished against Stephen F. Yeah, he had a quality game. I mean, he managed things, and we were very efficient in that game. You're not going to get anything spectacular with Parker McKenzie, but that's okay. You know, we've got some spectacular guys around him. Guys like DeAndre Brown, who averaged 7 yards a carry last year. I mean, Parker doesn't have to do much when he can deliver it here, hand it here. A quarterback's best friend is a running back. So that you can't just have DeAndre Brown. You got to have Herschel Sims. You got to have Adrian Duncan. You got to have Randy Gober. You got to have a stable of running backs in order to get through a season. But Parker had a fine spring, managed things, protected the ball. If you want to know if a quarterback is ready to play, you look at turnovers. And he didn't turn the ball over this spring, and he didn't last spring, which told me he had a chance. Guys like Dallas Seeley, Cody Ennis, those guys were backing him up this spring, and they pushed him, but they're young, and they hadn't done it yet. And those guys have the ability to help us win. They just got to keep maturing. Both of them do really good things. Cade Munden, who did not practice this spring due to a labrum surgery, he hadn't. I mean, he's going to come back healthier than he's ever been. I don't know that he can remember a time here on this campus where he threw without some kind of pain in his shoulder. And so there's no telling. I mean, all he did last year was help us beat Central Arkansas in his only start. So we know he can do it. All these guys bring different skills to the table, and it's our job. Hey, how do we use everybody? Because it's not about only using one guy. If you've got another guy that has the set of tools that can really, really help your offense.
Let's finish by talking about receivers and your secondary, because it's kind of a flip-flop. Last year you were senior heavy in the secondary. Now you're senior heavy in your wide receivers. You're going to need some guys to step up in that secondary. You've got some guys who, in limited spots last year, really performed at a high level. And I know you didn't even have Cade Stone really for the spring, did you?
Yes.
But to give us a quick thought about secondary and receivers.
Well, receivers, we've got 5 senior receivers. Everybody wants that set up, so we're sitting pretty good. Cedric Gilbert, of course, was our all-conference guy last year. He's a big guy, 6'2", 225, that can run, that has really learned he just learned football. You know, when he got here, he was just a kind of a route runner, but now he's learned how to play the game. Guys like Jonathan Epps, who is he's one of those guys. Hey, let's just get him the ball, and let's you teach him to protect it. Sometimes he needs to protect it a little bit better because he's like a thoroughbred. You know, your thoroughbred's going to run fast, and they're going to get there pretty quick. They may not run in a straight line all the time, but they're going to go. Jonathan really progressed this spring.
Did he?
Yes, he's more of what we want now. He didn't. I don't think he caught enough balls last year. A lot of that was he's learned. Last year was his first semester here, so he did really well. Cade Stone is a seasoned guy. We're going to get the ball to him, and so our receivers, I'm pleased with how things are looking, and we just got to keep progressing.
Secondary,
we've had these guys are getting after it. I mean, we've got our lone senior back there, Keith Barnett, had a really good spring. And Terry Osborne, another corner who played last year.
especially as the season progressed.
Yes, and had
Huge game against Central Arkansas.
right, and had an impact in some of those games. And he is an aggressive, physical corner, very smooth, very instinctive. And then the guy that didn't play last year, Jamar Mack, he's had a really good spring. We were considering using him at receiver, but he came out early in the spring, and we were like, wow, no, I think he probably should stay at corner, and he's progressed really well. He's just got to learn to play the position a little bit more, and he's got a lot of ability, very coachable. I was very pleased with him.
Your special teams, my goodness, you get again young but experienced, third-year starters in Austin Kilcullen and Nick Grau, and then you get a guy like Jamie Walker, who is every quarter. You talk about running back being the best friend of a quarterback,
Yes.
a tight end who can catch and run and block strong. As we wrap up here, just a thought about what your coaches have been through, and your thoughts about how your coaches have performed during the spring, because you've asked a lot of them.
Yeah, that's right. And our number one goal is to get out here and progress these guys, just grow them, and that's in meeting rooms, that's out here on the field. What you don't see is we're trying to grow these guys as men. We meet every single week on and talk about some aspect of manhood, whether it's our struggles, our traps that we end up in. We've learned this spring. Learn how to identify those traps. Learn how to keep from bumping my head over and over. And we're giving them tools to be able to beat those things that are stacked up against them in society. And so that's my coaches have done a great job. And the reason I talk about all that is because that's a major part of who we are. This is about football. We get after it, and we coach hard, but we also love on these guys and help them grow with that kind of passion also.
For the next 3 months, a lot of ACU fans will not be seeing a lot of you. You'll be out of the spotlight per se, because fall camp really doesn't begin until the 1st of August. But these are 3 critical months. Some of it is learning how to rest and recuperate for coaches, isn't it? A little bit. You don't have a whole lot of time off during the year.
No, you don't. And we'll do some camps in June. That's a lot of our evaluation of this next upcoming recruiting class. But the month of July, man, we gotta get away. And sometimes I've got to push these guys out the door because they just love football. And but that's a time for them to be with their families. So it's some people struggle with that, but we make it a point. You know what? We got to get our work done, but you got to have some balance, man, because the season is a grind. I don't care where you coach. There are certain things that you have to do. You have to put in the hours. You have to put in the work. You cannot skimp on certain things. So my guys work hard and they work with passion. They coach with passion. So in that takes it out of you. And so they do. We've got to regenerate, and not that we're dead tired, but you know what? We've coached hard this spring, yeah. And now you know what? It's time to put our recruiting stuff on, and let's get out and find some more players.
Way to go! Spring ball is complete. Fall camp will begin the 1st of August. We're about 130 some odd days from that season opener, a Thursday night affair in California. ACU at Fresno State. For Coach Ken Collums, I'm Grant Boone for ACUSports.com.